All right, folks, we'll be getting started in just a few minutes here. Just want to make sure everything is working properly before we get started. Ooh, that's a little dark. There we are. Okay. All right. Let's see here. There's the disclaimer there for your use, your protection, your information. Just want to make sure everything is working good here. I think we're all set. Just kind of double checking everything. There's the last one here. Okay, the disclaimer's out of the way, right there for you guys to read, review what we'll be doing today. This is the Futures Now session on August 3rd, 2021. My name is Bojan Petreski, go by Bo, easy to say to remember. My email is right here, boyan@tradictive.com. Should you have any questions or comments, please feel free to send me an email there. I'll be more than glad to get those questions answered. Now, this is the agenda for the session for today. We're going to be looking for the current market environment. We're going to review what we have in front of us. We're going to look to execute on new opportunities, and those will be primarily intraday trades. We still haven't had something along the lines of, something hitting it off so hard that uh, we can catch it the following week or something like that to manage it. Could it happen? Absolutely. And I would say that if people were in those trades, starting off into an intraday, turning into a swing trade, they're going to have a big, big, big smile on their face. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Open up the workspace here for our short-term time frames. What the, oh, sorry, I'm blind. I'm like, it's covering me with the mouse. Just want to make sure you can hear me okay. Uh, Watching me, we got YouTube, Facebook, our live private stream, Vimeo, and I believe Twitch. So just want to confirm everything's looking good. There we are. Okay, we should be good to go across the board. Yes, we are. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the session for today. So, what are we looking at? What's in front of us here? What are we allowed to open? What are we, how do we go about this day? So, if this is your first day joining us, first of all, welcome. You're in the right place. If you want to learn how to trade methodologically as opposed to just throwing things out there and calling it trading. We follow a stick setter plan, a set of rules, and a strict set of rules at that. That I want to go over with you to show you basically how I trade on a daily basis. Um, the first thing that we're going to do right now is we're going to open charts that are first of all that are confirmed climate. So we want to make sure that we're trading in a confirmed climate. That means that this column here, we're only allowed to look at the ones that are filled in here, that are either blue or red, right? We're looking for long or short opportunities. We're not going to be looking at any sort of bias for today. And then, of course, we're going to be looking at something that is either a sensible short or a sensible long, right? So those are the two primary ingredients that we need to have to be able to look at something and say, okay, we're going to go ahead and trade this. So as you see right now, we have two instruments that are popping up as near sensible short confirmed climate, and those are the ES and the EC. And then down below, we see the ES is also up on the 60-minute, and so is gold. So I'm going to open all four of them right now. So we're going to open the ES on the 15 and the 60, and we're also going to open the Euro and gold as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get that started. So we have the Euro, we have the ES on the 15, and then we have gold and the ES on the 60. Let's get those started. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Just making sure everything's looking good. All right. Everything's looking good. Boom. here. Hello. And let's get started as soon as this loads up. Okay. GC on 1811. That doesn't seem right. Let me just double check something here. We're gonna open up the most active. Take a look at the metals. I think gold might. Yep, it's on the December contract, so that's why something didn't add up there. Let's open this at GCZ21 is the correct chart now. Okay. Let's see how we're looking on the gold. Oof, nothing there. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna keep it open still because as you see, it is the first confirmed climate on the 60-minute. And on top of that, it is near this moving average being at 1814, price being at 1850. So we're going to keep it open. Let's take a look at the ES to see how we're looking there. Okay, the ES is a confirmed down climate, as we see with this thick red dot down here. The current price is at 43.88, moving average is at 43.92, which this UFO and this UFO up above will definitely work out, as will this one here. So let's see and take a look and see what we got in front of us. I especially like these trades right at the open, essentially, mainly because that's where a lot of movement kicks in. And if you've joined me on these sessions before, you may have seen how much the market moves, especially during these open. The 9:30 open. So let's see if we can kind of get a trade together. Before we get that trade together, let's explain what exactly we're looking for. So what we're looking for is the following, right? We need a confirmed down climate, which we have. We need price to be near this 9 exponential moving average, which is denoted by this gray number here, MAE, 43.9217. And we need this number, this 43.92, let's just call it even, needs to be enveloped by a UFO and one of these charts. Okay, so as we see here, it is currently enveloped by these two UFOs. So that means we have a valid entry. Now, this one, as we've done before, we see that the ES is actually valid on both the 15-minute time frame as well as the 60-minute time frame. So I'm primarily going to take a look at the 60-minute right now, just because it's a bigger move. But before before we actually go into executing this trade, I just want to make sure that we're not missing it. So 43.91. Whoa, the stop will actually have to be at 43.97.5, and that one is actually 97.5. So the entry would be here at the bottom of this UFO, which is at 43.91. Okay, right here, 43.91 is the entry. So 43.91. Okay, however, the stop needs to go up above that UFO. So the stop actually needs to go up there, 97.5. Now, looking at this is a 6.5, I think, point risk trade. 97.5 minus 91, 6.5, right? Our T1 would have to be down below at this 84.5. 84.5. Our final target, I'm just going to move down for a bit until we find where an opposing UFO lies on this larger time frame, right? That's the auto climate time frame, the 60-minute time frame, which is down below here. This is the first opposing UFO, and that one starts at 43.6175. So that is our final target on this trade, 43.6175, which is, interestingly enough, almost very close to where I put the final target. So 43.61.75. So that's the setup for today. That's how we're going to trade this. Um, Now let's go ahead and analyze the lower time frame and see how that looks. And then, interestingly enough, it almost matches with our entry point on both those time frames. So as you see, the 15-minute time frame has a similar situation, right? There's a UFO right there, there's a UFO right there, and the moving average is, interestingly enough, 43.91.12, which is almost exactly the same as its cousin, the 60-minute time frame. Now, the difference between these two is the following, right? You could take this trade onto this, small UFO up here, 43.91.25 to 43.91.5. So realistically speaking, you could have, just a couple of points worth of risk. So you could really just take this trade down here at, 43.90.8, and that's most likely going to catch it unless it takes too long to get back there. If price takes too long to get back up there, then it may miss this UFO. But if it recalculates and it pulls it down a little bit further, it'll be the perfect scenario. Meaning, if we don't get filled in the next 4 minutes, then it'll still work even on this time frame. All right, now up above, we do have another UFO here, another UFO here. The main thing is that, and there we go, this first UFO that was down below is actually already gone. That kind of tells you, the adaptable nature of the software that we use, right? As things move, the software reacts. So right now, we may have missed the boat a little bit on this one, mainly because, as you see, the most optimal scenario right here would have been actually to get an entry right here, about 7 minutes ago or so, at 8:06. Well, this is Mountain Time, so 9:06 Eastern Time, because it came right to the tick. Could you have been filled here? Possibly, yes. You might have not gotten filled, but if you did, this would have been basically the best kind of a sniper entry. But our current entry on the 60-minute time frame is still more than valid. We still have time before the open. Ideally speaking, as I've said it many times before, we'd like to have this open with our T1 already ticked down, meaning this, before the crazy movement starts of up and down, right? Before we get all that, we'd like to see something like a touch on our entry down to T1, and maybe then a retest, and then further down, right? Ideally speaking, we'd like to have at least this move happen before the open, so that way at least we're risk off. So even if the market decides to just jolt up, right, we're gonna be at break even. We're not gonna lose any money. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the EC before, because we did not get a chance to look at that. Okay, EC. EC is actually looking like it's not going to be valid anyway, because it was a confirmed up climate, but it looks like things went south really quick. So let's see if in about 30 seconds or so we're actually going to have an update to the climate and see what's going to happen with the EC. I'm actually curious to see, because this is a strong move down. It'd be nice to catch this on a short. All right. Let's see what's going to happen. If it does print a red confirmed dot on our 50-minute time frame, then that is a good short entry. All right. Everybody okay following so far? Am I going too quick, too slow, just about right? Let me know. I'm looking at all the different chat windows here just to make sure I'm not missing something. All right, so the euro, while it is a down climate, as you see, it is a thin red dot. I mean, I can zoom in a little bit. It is a thin red dot. It's not a thick one, meaning it is not confirmed. So we're gonna go ahead and basically close this, even though we had such a strong move down. I was kind of hoping that it might be a confirmed down climate, but it was not. All right. Now looking at the ES, we're still looking good on the 60-minute, right? Because it hasn't ticked up or down. 43.92 being our moving average. Our entries at 43.91. This is within this UFO, so we're looking good there. How did the 15-minute do? I'm curious to see. Okay, so the 15-minute is actually at 43.90.50. So actually, it's giving us a more aggressive entry right here at 43.89.5. So that's a bit of a more aggressive entry right there on the ES, and it's actually a lower risk as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do what I did last time. All right, we're going to have both of these trades on. Okay, let's just take a look. So this starts at 43.89.5. So that's the two right there, 89.5. Now the stop for this one is actually going to be right 91.5, 91.75. Okay, so that's the stop right there for this one. So as you see, this one is definitely a lot less risk. 91.75 minus 89.5, right? That's only 2.25 points. So we're looking at 87.25 for that exit point, if we can get on board with this. So 89.5, 89.5. Now, okay. As far as the exit point for that one, it'll be 87.25 right there. Okay, so for the ES, for the 60-minute time frame, we do have that one still. For the 15-minute, though, we also have one. Let me just see how it's looking. For the 15-minute, the final target would actually be 82.50. So 82.50. Okay, 82.50. It's funny, they actually lined up together here. Okay, so if or when this fills, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the final target to be at 82.50. That's a 7-point move down, so it's a good risk to reward ratio. This setup is here. If we do get filled on this setup, on the more aggressive one, you could cancel this one or you could keep it. It's really up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and get in on the more aggressive one, and then essentially, manage it on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Gold is still showing a confirmed up climate, but not moving a whole lot. So we're gonna see what's going to happen there. In the meantime, just kind of, I guess, hanging out in that range. Let's go ahead and take a look at to see if there's anything else that we're looking at, and it doesn't seem to be. Natural gas is actually giving us a near sensible long on the 240. Let's go ahead and open up natural gas on the 240. I have not traded this one in a bit, so while that's loading, I'm going to take a look at the energies. And natural gas is on the September NGU21. So at NGU21. All right. And the moving average is at 39.79. That is actually within this UFO here. 79 is very close to it. This might just make it by one tick. Just looking at it right now. As you see, the moving average that is at 39.79. This one is a little less sensitive, obviously, because it's a 240-minute time frame. So it won't move as crazily as the 15. However, 3.994 being the current um, price, this might actually be a good solid entry at 3.989. 3.989 with only an 11-12 tick stop. And let's see if we actually have a final target or not. Might not. Yeah, nothing up above, so we're going to go ahead and cancel that one, the T2. Since we don't have anything up above, we only have T1. Okay. So yeah, that's also another setup that we have right there. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. See if we can get any of these to fill. 89.5 is our ES. 3989 is our um, natural gas. ES is coming close. It's about a point away. Just looking at it on my other screen here. So let's see how we're going to go about this. We should see a bit of a movement kind of kicking in soon. I would hope enough to kind of get us filled, get us in, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully, it's not a crazy jolt that I can't cancel a trade. Um, a little bit more of an advanced technique that I would say to manage this trade. I'm going to go over if and when this fills. Um, okay, a couple of ticks away. Just hanging on here. Come on, yes. Get us in before the open. Get us to our T1 before the open. Touch and then go would be the best setup, right? I see gold is flashing again, but again, nothing really going on with gold. Um, Near sensible long on it, but again, as I've said earlier, there's just for some reason there just doesn't seem to be a lot of movement right now. It will typically move also with the open gold, but in the meantime, how's it going so far, guys? Let me know how's it looking on your end. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? Please feel free to let me know. We're about a few ticks away from getting filled on the more aggressive entry at 43.96, the moving average. Our UFO is right in the middle of it there at 43.89.5 being our entry, 915 being the stop. Okay, very good so far. Thank you there, Abd Akmal Hakim. Thank you. All right. Well, you know, this is it's becoming a little less and less optimal right now. One thing that I will say about this trade with the ES, if for some reason we don't get filled right now and before the open, given that this is such a small stop here at 91.75, I would be much more you know open to do it on the 60-minute time frame with the larger stop, kind of giving the trade a little bit more room to wiggle, to develop as it opens, as opposed to the more aggressive entry. So, but let's see, we may actually get filled right now. Couple, just a tick away. Okay. Just teasing us over here. Oh, nice, nice, wonderful. Yeah, there's definitely some amazing information there on the website with the free course. So check it out, see what you think, and give us some feedback of anything that you would like to see more of, less of, and so on. We're very very responsive when it comes to that stuff. The ES is just teasing over here, man. Oh my god, it's just not. It's ticking around our entry. Okay, looks like we're in. Okay. Bum, bum. Now on live, you might have not gotten filled. It depends. Sometimes it's just first in, first out. It's just the way life is, right? One, two, three. I'm gonna manage it here on the sim as if we did get in. Um, you know, we're gonna see what's going to happen here. Obviously, we're it's moving our way a little bit. Hopefully, did you guys get in? Anybody get filled on that one? But this is kind of what you want to see is just a a giant wick off of a what's it called, a UFO is kind of what you want to see, definitely. um, you know but let's see what's going to happen. We have a few more minutes before the open. We are in the ES trade. Now, the vertical lines that I drew here, I mean, I probably should have explained a little bit better for you. So, what these vertical lines really mean is, they're visual representations of how much are we going to give this trade of a wiggle room to either give us our T1 or stop us out. So that's basically it. It's essentially 6 minutes from fill that we're going to give it to give us that T1. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and cancel the trade. Mainly because we have so much working in our favor, we should be getting to safety rather quickly, right? And as you see, this is kind of it's moving that way. Sometimes it'll tick around the T1, and that's fine. That's just how trading works, especially given the fact that we have a green UFO right there. But we still have the climate working in our favor, so this should come down to T1. If it doesn't, that's okay, right? If it doesn't, that's completely fine. We're gonna go ahead and close this trade if it goes past this 934 candle right here, meaning 4 minutes after the open. If we don't get our T1 or stop, we're going to go ahead and close at that market wherever that may be. All right. In the meantime, just checking gold, nothing. Natural gas, the trade is still on. It's actually looking even better because there's another UFO there. Actually, this invalidates our entry. I just realized that. So we're going to go ahead and cancel it because, again, now the entry, while you can take it on this UFO, the stop needs to be below the green UFO, right? So the stop would have to go all the way down below 39.15. So the stop would need to be at 3.9, all the way down here, basically. That would need to be the stop, and that's just not what we want to see. All right, and we're going to be off to the races in a bit. I saw a bit of an uptick of volume. I thought it already opened up um, while explaining that natural gas trade. There we go. Session is open. We have some movement upwards. I still have this 60-minute there. Okay. That one actually got in as well. So we're in 2 trades with the ES right now. This is a little bit more advanced. So if you're not up for it, that's okay. I like seeing this kind of play out and see how it goes. And remember, we do have one stop right here at 31. I'm sorry, 43.9175. That's our first stop on that more aggressive trade. If that stops us out, so be it. Our final stop would be all the way up there at 43.97.5. So again, this is a little bit more advanced. It's okay if you're not feeling up to take these trades. You could definitely sim them to figure out, hey, what's going to happen, how's it going to work, and then we'll go from there. Looking like it's moving down in our favor. Okay, our T1 is right here, 87.5. I just realized though that okay, so T1 was just hit on the more aggressive trade. Now we have, oh, I know what's going on here. Okay, I don't know if I can modify this or not. I'm sure there is a way to do it. It's just because I'm into both of those trades. One of them, the 15-minute time frame trade, I just realized this and I didn't fix it. I realized it earlier, but I didn't fix it. Our T2 for this trade is actually at 82.75, I think it was, right? 82.75. So unfortunately, when we place the trade on the matrix, and here we go, we actually have a new UFO right there at 91. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my stop down to 91 on that first more aggressive trade, and I'm gonna pull this down to 82.75 the way it was there. Okay, we got our T1, so this is no longer valid. We don't need to do the time stop anymore. Okay. How's it going so far, guys? Are you following along? Is it looking okay? Just I'm checking out all the streams, the chats. It's kind of quiet. I see people watching, but it's kind of quiet. Hey, there he is. Wayne, you're in with me. That's why the market's moving. Wayne's on board. All right, I'm going to move my stop. There it is, to 91 on both of them. Can't lose money now. We got a couple of T's to hit here. Ooh, look at that. Another one there. So I'm going to hit it to 89.25. Definitely in the money trade there. I was wondering why this market just decided to move that quick. All right. Just protecting profits, guys, just in case this doesn't work out. Right? We locked some money in, and we're definitely locking in a profit up here as well. Looks like it's finding some buyers down here just before our T1. I'm sorry, T2 on a more aggressive trade, and our modified T1 on our more conservative trade. Obviously, if this ticks in, we're going to take 2 off right there, and we're going to have one runner down to the 61.75, just a few ticks away. Come on, ES, one tick away from our target. I really hope it doesn't pull all the way back from here. Looking like a strong move down. It came literally a tick away from our stop. We are protecting profits, obviously. We got a new UFO that developed here at 89, so we put our stop to 89.25 on all 3 contracts. Okay. Okay, you trade currency, Akmal? Okay, I got you. Well, I mean, futures is also very, very liquid, so it wouldn't hurt to give it a try. As far as Forex, we could essentially just look at the Euro contract here. It was a near sensible earlier, but it wasn't giving us much to do. So we're just going to go ahead and stick with the open trade that we got. We're seeing a bit of a pullback here. I quite frankly think that we should see a pull, a response down to this Globex low. I think this is the Globex low from what I'm looking at here. Looking at it from down below. I need some more data or not. That was 8.2. Yeah, so actually where is it? What the heck? 8.2. Yeah, so this here, 8.2, 8.2 at 9 o'clock. Yeah, so down here, there we go. We just got our T. There we go. All right, now we can go ahead and just let this run for however much it wants to run. Right? One other kind of more advanced technique that you could do is, let's say this thing, just the floor falls off and we don't have another new UFO, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I don't want to leave this much money on the table. What you can do is, you're out, Wayne. I got you. Yep, I took my T. One, on the more conservative trade, even though it was a bit of a more kind of not aggressive, but it was a more of a leash out there rather than the exact T1. But I also moved my stop sooner, so this one kind of turned into a bit of a hybrid, mainly because when I hit my less aggressive trade, the T1 overlapped with the T2 of the more aggressive trade. So, we just kind of made the best of it. Realistically speaking, you should have gotten at, like, 1, 2, 3 different points here. We just got out at 2 points. Okay, we got out at our T1 on the more aggressive trade and T2 on the more aggressive trade, and which was also our T1 on the larger scale trade off of the 60-minute. Could we see this 61.75? Sure. Somebody comes out with some crazy news out there and the floor falls off, absolutely. Realistically speaking, I would say if we test out the Globex low down here at this 77 area, which is actually, no, that's still 350. Nope, that's not the Globex low. I used to have an indicator to give me the Globex low, but the Globex low should be around this area here. It's right after the close where this move started from, so that should be somewhere around there. Now this is on Mountain Time, 15. Yep, this is where it closes, and this is the open. All right, so this is actually right here where it's testing. That's the Globex low, like I was pointing earlier. We only have one runner left. Otherwise, I would say definitely take something off at the Globex low. Because typically Globex lows right below them, there's usually a trap. It gives a strong pullback. But there's been many times where things just roll on down. All right, so that's the last contract we have open. All right. At this point, since we've already kind of we've closed off the first trade, the more aggressive trade, I'm gonna go ahead and switch off to the private stream. If you haven't already, the place to go would be right here on the link, tradewithufos.com/live. Okay, that's the private link. I just shared it on YouTube, where I think the majority of the viewers are. Just gonna go ahead and share it here as well. All right, folks, I'm going to be switching to the private stream. Stay tuned on the private stream if you're there. This trade is still kind of kicking on down, which is nice.